Hello, everybody. It is Monday, the 10th of April. I just had a conversation with my friend about Hermetic principles. And in her mind, it is just as above, so below. The spiritual is the source of the physical, which is true. But that it does not work the other way around, as below, so above, although the Hermetic principles do say that. And in the Bible, it is described as a two-way street. Angels are not just coming down the ladder to tell us what to do. They're going up and down. But in this world, as it is right now, that is what we're being taught. It is a one-way street. It is what's being preached to us from everywhere. God's will must be done. You are but dust. Yours is not to reason why. Yours is just to do and die. That is what is being preached to us, and it is as within, so without, which is another Hermetic principle. Because people believe that within, that they are just the puppets of the spiritual, and that the flesh has got no independent knowledge of itself, or no right to speak that knowledge. As within, so without, it is creating this world of slaves. It is creating a slave race that is being ruled over. And in fact, in the book of the Revelation, the world will be the outcome of that, where the spiritual will rule over the world with a rod of iron, and we will be beaten into submission, and then there will be peace on earth. Because the one will be done, and the flesh will know its place, and it will do and die, and it will not murmur about it, but it will do so joyfully. That is the outcome of this path, of this thought, that this is a one-way street. As above, so below. And it is us making that a knowing within ourselves, that we are creating ourselves to be slaves. And this world is becoming a world of slaves. Now, my friend also said that those that follow the spiritual path, the magician knows that you need to create harmony between the physical and the spiritual. True, that is what it is. There has to be a coming together of the two in peace, in a willingness to come together to create. That is how creation works. Again, how is this peace and harmony between the two to be achieved? The way of the God of the Bible, beat the flesh into submission. And there will be a coming together, and there will be peace on earth. Right. Let's say for one moment, as I'm saying, it is a two-way street. It is as above, so below, as below, so above. The spiritual is creating the physical outcome. We are living the outcome. We are living the effect. The spiritual was the cause, but we are living the effect, and right now we are suffering the effect. But then what? Know that it is for some higher good, even though you don't know it is good in yourself. But hey, you are but dust, you know nothing. Just suffer it and know that it is the will of God, the will of the Spirit, and know it as good. Even though you are in excruciating pain, but still know it as good. It's fine. Or is it that if the spiritual causes a bad effect in the physical. It was a bad thought to start with. If it is as above, so below, so if it causes a bad outcome, then where's the fault? The fault is in the spiritual, and are we then not to correct the spiritual? If our knowledge is to serve God, the knowledge of us is to be given to God to serve God, shall we then not serve him in our truth and say, you know what? You're a twat. I'm suffering. You are wrong. And are we then not true servants if we speak our truth? And then how is peace on earth to be achieved? How is this coming together of the two to be achieved? Through cooperation? Through cooperating with each other? Through giving the knowledge, not only getting the knowledge from the spiritual to create the physical, but the knowledge of the outcome being given back to the spiritual, saying, oi, you are going completely wrong here. Rethink yourself. And it's the coming together of the two to be achieved in that way. Then we are not puppets. We are not slaves. But we are the knowledge of the outcome, and we should give of that knowledge. But as I said, at the moment, that is what is being preached to us. It is a one-way street, and you are but dust, and you know nothing, and you cannot affect the higher. And you're making that a truth within yourself. I am nothing. And then your life is completely meaningless, and your life is slavery. But you made that your truth. You've become that. So how do we change? Within ourselves, and we must change within ourselves. We must change the view of ourselves. The knowing, how do we know ourselves? I am not a slave. We ourselves are physical and spiritual. We stretch out. We are more than just this. We stretch out into a spiritual being. Yeah? And it is from this stretching out that we get, that's our pathways from which we gain knowledge. From other consciousnesses. But we are the judges of what we receive. What our higher self brings back as knowledge, we are the judges of what it is we should and should not do, or which knowledge we should and should not incorporate into the knowledge of ourselves. Just because it's out there does not mean it's better than us or it's higher than us. It is all possibilities, but not all possibilities serve us, and knowledge should serve us. It's given to serve. And if it doesn't serve, you don't stand there and say, oh, it's this higher being that is talking to me. It knows so much more than me, and I must just do and die. And if it kills me, well, it was obviously my fault. Just because you can, just because the possibility is out there, does not mean you should. If it doesn't serve you, step away. Walk away. And then you are I am. Then you are a spiritual being that gets spiritual knowledge and is the master of its own destiny. But it is, I mean, even with my friend, she is raging against that God of the Bible and the cruelty of it all. But then she accepts, at the same moment, she accepts that that is how it is. You know, we cannot affect the heavens. No, thing is, you may not change the will of another consciousness. Yeah, if it's hell bent on, I want to rule over this world, you may not be able to change its mind. It is what it is, and it may not want to change. Or, well, I think it can change. Everything can change, but it may not want to change. It thinks itself superior, so yeah, my will must be done because I'm so much greater than everything else. So you may not be able to go up against it or change its mind, but you can walk away from it. You can disconnect. You can disconnect from that which hurts you. Don't let it in. And this physical experience is your knowledge of good and bad. It is the truth. The outcome is the truth. So, as above, so below. As below, so above, if above will listen. And if above will not listen, disconnect. Banish that thought. Put it out into the wilderness. Don't let it be part of your life. And then harmony will be achieved by you only letting in knowledge that works in harmony with everything else. Knowledges that will cooperate within you, that will work for you, that will serve you. And that is how you will achieve harmony within your own life, by taking responsibility and by taking control. And again, if we work this not only to benefit ourselves, but take into consideration the benefit of that which is around us, other people, nature, then we will create a world of peace by letting in that which cooperates with us, and not by being ruled over and becoming slaves, mindless slaves. The peace of a slave is death. It's not life. Anyway, I leave it at that for today, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.